everyone, welcome back to the channel. Man, it feels really weird not having any cars in the shop. Usually we'll have, 3. So yeah, it's kind of weird not having anything in here. I noticed from the last video that we did, man, those doors are grungy, So I think what we're gonna do today, I have a day off, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna hit them with a pressure washer and get those cleaned up. The shop's been built for about maybe 5 years now, I think. So the roll-up doors, unfortunately, when they're rolled up, you get dirt and grime, and then spiders love to live in these roll-up doors. So a lot of that stuff, believe it or not, is just webs from spiders. It's very, very sticky, so the dirt sticks to them. We do have a pest control company that comes in, but I don't think the formula they're using for the spiders works, because we still get spiders. Not big spiders like tarantulas or anything like that, just little annoying spiders that set up shop in the roll-up doors. And then of course when you bring the door down, you get smacked on the head with a spider, so that's always cool. So anyway, let me get some stuff ready, and we'll hit those doors with the pressure washer and remove all that grime, man. That's pretty ugly. So what I did is I just ran down to Harbor Freight. I mean, we've all been to Harbor Freight, so no need to take you guys on a ride there. But just went over there and picked up a cheap 1.25 gallon air sprayer. What is it? A sprayer, pressure sprayer. And then I got some multi-green, multi-purpose cleaner. Bought an extra hose so I could extend the water supply all the way inside the shop. Got our trusty old generic electric pressure washer that you guys have seen me use before. Picked up that one at Lowe's some years back, and it works out great, man. It works out fine. So I also picked up a blue tarp. This is a 8x11. The reason I got the tarp is because if you notice, I have the wood wall over here. So I don't want to get any of that overspray on the wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tarp up there and then come across. It's 11 feet, and that'll cover up that area there. That'll protect that area. And then what I'll probably do is I'll work on this door first. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tarp down. And then over here is the electrical panel. So what I'll do, which also needs pressure washing. It's pretty grungy too. But what I'm going to do is I have some magnets. So I'm going to put the magnets and then put the tarp from the magnets with the magnets up there. And that'll protect the electrical panel. I can't turn the power off, unfortunately, because that's what I'm using to power up the pressure washer. So I got to be careful. I'm still going to put some bags over the electrical panel, put some trash bags or something. So I'll wrap up that first to protect that, and then we'll put the tarp, and then we'll hit this door. And like I said, this stuff's mainly just dirt and grime. It's been there for a while, but it's super sticky, man. And if you own a metal shop, a shop like this happens, man. It's from moisture. In the mornings, sometimes the shop's a little bit moist in here, so that's what's gonna happen. But as long as you maintain it, clean it up every once in a while, you'll be fine. So let me put that together. I'm gonna need a ladder, and then we'll get started on this. Got warm in here, so I got a little fan going. All right, so I did a test spray. Basically what I did is I mixed 1 gallon 50-50 mix, 50% product and then 50% water. So right now I sprayed about half of the door, and we used about a quarter. I think I have enough to make 2 gallons, so we should be able to do this one door with under a gallon for sure. And then we'll do another mix for that door. I haven't put the tarp up yet because I'm not going to hit it with the pressure washer just yet. I'm going to spray both doors down, and then I'll let that soak in, and then I'll go ahead and work on the tarp. While that's working. Yeah, should go pretty easy. So let me finish. I need to get a ladder. Let me finish spraying the door. And then we'll get going on the tarp. Check it out. Is this fashionable or what? I got this shield at Harbor Freight. It's $4. So Just don't forget to take off the protection coating. There's like these two films that are on there, and I put it on at first, and I was like, man, I can't see a damn thing. And oh yeah, I didn't realize you have to take off the. And there's two. There's one on the outside, one on the inside. So anyway, check it out. We got the ladder set up. Let's get working. All right, got the ladder set up. I had to set it sideways. I really, for safety, I don't like to use a ladder like that. But I'm only going to go up maybe like 1 or 2 steps, and then spray the top of the door, and be done with that one. And then we'll work on the next one. So I should note that the stuff I'm using is biodegradable. It's non-corrosive, so I got a little bit on my arms and my hands. You can tell, like Simple Green, when you get that on you, you can tell, man, it kind of fizzes on your hands and arms. But this stuff, like I said, is biodegradable, so it's doing a good job of removing the grime. I'll give you guys a closer look at how bad this is. See that? So yeah, if I sound a little weird, it's because I have the shield down. But so then I got the bottle pressured up. I hung it up here. I think it's safe. This thing doesn't get loose unless you think you pop it out. Oh no, you push it in. So yeah, all right, let me finish this side. I'll show you how good this stuff's working. So like I said, it's just from Harbor Freight. I think it's like $10, but see that? Look at that. And that's low pressure, you know. I've been spraying it for a bit, so the bottle needs to be pumped up again. But it's working pretty good, you know, but you guys can see how nasty that looks. And like I said, that's probably about, I want to say 4 years, I think, since we built the shop. So that's just dirt and grime that builds up over time. So looks ugly. All right, we got the tarp up. Probably should have gone a little bit tighter to the edge of the wall, but let's see how it goes, man. I couldn't position the ladder in there the way I want it. I guess I could have removed the ramps out of the way, and then yeah, I guess I should have just gotten the ramps out of the way. But anyway, tarp's up. Took a little bit of a break, man. It started to get really warm. Had to open one of the doors up. I was hoping to do both at the same time with the pressure washer, but looks like we're gonna have to do this one first and then work on the other one. And then what I'll do is when I start working on this one, I'm gonna open that door. So anyway, took a little bit of a break, cooled down a little bit. Not a sponsored product, but if you guys are ever outside in the heat, this stuff right here, electrolyte, this stuff works, man. You know, I've tried Gatorade. You know, it gets really hot. Gatorade and water kind of alternate. But man, a few times I've been out here working in the shop and it gets really, really warm. And, you know, you start kind of feeling like, man, you know, you kind of need to go inside and cool down. Man, drink a couple of these and you feel like a whole new person. Electrolyte, you can find them at any convenience store. I bought a whole case of them at Sam's. They do make a sugar-free option if you can't take any sugar products. So there's that. So anyway, okay, we're up. Let me set up the pressure washer, and let's get that door cleaned up. Look at that difference. So it's a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. It's a very large door. I think these doors are 8 by 10, I believe. Yeah, 8 by 10. But yeah, look at the difference, man. I might mix up the product a little bit more, like maybe a 75-25. So it'll get a little bit, you know, a little bit more. But we got it pretty clean. Those spider webs, man, are crazy. They're very, very sticky. We couldn't get the very top, unfortunately. I'm by myself, and I don't want to climb up the ladder that high. So I'm going to wait till one of my boys comes over, and then we'll do the top. Now, I know some of y'all are thinking, man, why didn't you start at the top back there and then work your way down? And, well, honestly, I'm just impatient. I wanted to see what it was going to look like. So I started at the bottom, which was the easiest. And then I set up the ladder and I climbed up on top. And then all the crud from the top was coming down on the bottom. So I had to redo all the bottom. But look at this. Look at the floor. Look at all that mess. And that's not all. Look at the outside. So obviously we're pushing dirt. Look at the dirt out here. So now the door on the outside is dirty. So now I'm gonna have to hit that, but that's gonna be easy. This area here in between also got dirty because I was pushing water from the inside out. So we'll have to do this also once we're done with the other door. I did do the center area here as far as I could, as high as I could, because that was pretty dirty too. And then I did that little corner over there as well. So, all right, let me start spraying the second door. Also another thing, when you do these, so it's a corrugated door, you can't see the bottom. So you think you're done and then you open the door and it's all dirty. So I had to roll the door up at several points, spray it, bring it down, spray it, bring it down, spray it, bring it down. So to get it done right. So anyway, I'm a little weary about the whole situation with the breaker panel. But I do have some trash bags and I have some zip ties and some tape. And I'm pretty sure I can tape it all up really good. So I can get that corner over there. It's pretty ugly. And I can get this other door done. But yeah, all right, let me get started on that. So on this door, we're gonna start at the top and work our way down. Check this out. Look at that top rolling area. So that's what I found when I did that door. When I went to open it, I saw it looked like that. So I had to start over and redo that whole top area. Then I did the outside of the door and the walls on the outside. So this time we're gonna start at the top where it rolls, and then we're gonna work our way down, and then work our way down the door. I got the breaker box taped up. You know, kind of like the way you tape up a carburetor. You know, it's kind of the same thing.
Same, but different, but still same.
And then I also taped up the light switch. I'm not going to put high pressure on that at all. When I get around this area, I'm going to probably stay away from it, you know, and just, you know, I'm not going to give it any direct pressure. So I am going to be really careful with that. So anyway, let's go ahead and get on this door. Look at how it looks when you look at it from a distance. See that whole top area? We missed it on the first try, on the first wash. So I had to redo it again. But you can see here, look at that. So when I had the door closed, you couldn't see that. That was on the other side. So I did this whole door, and then I rolled up the door and all that stuff came out. And I was like, oh my God. So this time I'm not gonna make that same mistake. I'm gonna start up there first and then work my way down. All right, man, finally finished. The doors came out great. That's something we don't have to worry about for probably another good, probably another 4 or 5 years before we have to clean these doors up again. So I went ahead and hit that panel also because it was also full of crud. And then I hit the floors too. We still have a little bit of mess left over from the doors, but I'm gonna let it dry and then I'll just sweep it out. But yeah, so I did the inside, I did the outside. The breaker panel scared me. I didn't want to die, so I only did a certain portion of it. I stayed away from it. I'm just gonna take a scrub brush and maybe some, I don't know, some kind of a cleaner, and I'll just take care of that manually. I did hit the top as much as I could. I couldn't get to it, it's too high. The ceiling at the peak is 14 feet. And then it's 12 feet at the eaves, and then it's 10 feet at the doors. So I didn't want to climb up on the ladder that high, especially since I'm by myself in the shop. Last thing I want to do is die in here. So, yeah. So, yeah, the doors came out great. It was well worth it. A little bit more work than I thought it was going to be. We had done the small door before, the side door over here. And that door wasn't as hard as these two doors. The crud was just on there, man. It was pretty bad. I need to also pressure wash the lift, and then I'm gonna get some quotes to do the epoxy on the floors. I was gonna do like a checkered board race style, but I think I'm just gonna get some quotes and get some epoxy done. This is all just excess water from the pressure washing. I think the last quote I got was something like $4,000. The shop's only 25 by 26. And I thought $4,000 was kind of high, but I know that they have to etch the concrete with acid. They have to cover up all these lines. They have to fix all the cracks before they can even do epoxy. And in that case, we're gonna have to move everything out. We're gonna have to move the lift out and everything like that. The lift's not bolted down, so it'll move right out. So yeah, I think overall came out great. Very happy with the results. That looks much better, right? The background, it's not all cruddy like it was the other day. So let's talk about the muscle car situation, right? That we talked about the other day. I want to thank you guys, the guys that did comment, give some feedback, your opinions on what you thought of the car market. Earlier today, I stopped real quick and I went to get something to eat. While I was eating, I was going through Marketplace, and there were 7 Novas in there. And there was one in there, man, that was a project. No interior, the panels didn't match, and the dude was asking $25,000 for it. Man, it needed tires. Under the hood was ugly, $25,000. And then there was another guy selling a really nice orange Nova, pretty clean. He was asking $23,000. And then there was 2 other ones in there that were in the $60,000 range. And they weren't, you know, anything special, man. They were just base Novas. So yeah, the market is pretty crazy. So usually in the shop, what I like to keep, I have room for 3 cars, right? One on this side and then one under the lift and one on the lift. So I usually keep three hot rods. I usually buy different genres, right? I'll keep a 70s and 80s and maybe something a little bit newer like a Hellcat or a Scat Pack or something like that. In this case, my budget, I mean, I can do 3 cheap cars. I can do 3 $15,000 cars. That gives you an idea what my budget is. So I can do 3 $15,000 cars. But I mean, the market, I mean, it's just pretty crazy. Or I can do one really expensive car. You know, I can go buy, you know, some really nice 55 Chevy or, you know, some really nice Camaro, you know. But man, I'll be honest, you know, that stuff scares me, man, at car shows. But yeah, we could do that. I think the best, you know, mid-range thing to do is we'll probably get one cheap car, kind of like we had with Turtle with our 72 Chevelle, the green Chevelle. That's a car that you can pretty much take anywhere and people lean on it. People, you know, and I don't mind, you know, because they're not going to hurt it. And then we'll probably try to find something a little bit nicer. We'll keep that car under a cover, and then we'll, you know, we'll take that car out to special shows and things like that. So that's kind of where I'm at in my mindset. But haven't really found anything that just catches my eye right now. So, you know, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm working and cleaning the shop, right? And I guess that's necessary sometimes, right? Sometimes you just have to stop what you're doing with everything else, and it'll take a little bit of time to clean up, right? And it doesn't hurt anything. So, yeah. So anyway, if you made it this far, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. I reply to every comment, and I read every comment, right? Good or bad. You know, you want to cuss me out. I don't care, man. I got very, very thick skin. It doesn't matter to me. But yeah, don't cuss me out, man. That's not nice. Anyway, today is Independence Day. Happy 4th of July, everyone out there. And, you know, spend some time with your family. Don't blow your fingers off. You know, don't do that. And if you do, man, make sure you get it on video and share it online. Anyway, again, thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys on the next video.